the only place I've actually found. They actually have.
I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but
I'll say it. It's almost like we're on an extended vacation, kind of. It's almost like we're living as residents. Technically, we are residents of France now that 3 months has gone by.
officially, actually. Officially,
We're residents of France.
Right.
We've experienced a lot. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot that is how we expected it, and some things are different.
Let's talk about first the people. So, there's a lot of talk out there about how the French people are rude and yada, yada, yada. And I have to say, they're both. There's definitely...
For the most part, not rude.
Yeah, no. I guess not rude,
Very few people have had any kind of a rude, at least to me.
Not intentionally anyway.
Yeah.
They do have I can see what people are saying, that they can come across as rude, but it's really just the fact that the French people, they're very to the point.
Direct, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't sugarcoat things like a lot of people do because they don't want to hurt someone's feelings. No, they tell you what they think. And they're not trying to be mean about it. They're just being honest. And so that's something that we had to learn. But however, for the most part, the experience and the exchanges that we've had with the French people, it has been incredibly wonderful. I mean, we have had people that are strangers that we never even spoke to help us out for no reason. As a matter of fact, when we were applying for the dogs' passports, we were trying to print out the document that we had so that we can mail it out. And we went to this tobacco place, which the tobacco, they don't just sell tobaccos. It's just like a little convenience store.
A little convenience store. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff.
So we go in there, we're trying to talk to the cashier, and she spoke very little English. And there was this wonderful gentleman that was making a comment about Jake's forehead and how the light was shining on his forehead. And he was an artist. Anyway, we were talking, and he just decided to...
Not me being the artist.
No, the guy. But he decided to just basically help us figure out what it was that we were needing help with. He was our translator with the cashier and was ready to step in. And, he felt bad that we couldn't go any further because they didn't have a printer and, blah, blah, blah. But it was just wonderful that somebody, a total stranger, had no connections with, just offering to help. And then of course there's that banker from Credit Mutual that just went out of his way, and just people that would come and greet us with a dog, just so nice. As a matter of fact, when we were in Nice, Jake and I went and got some pastries from this little really cute pastry shop, and we were trying to talk to her in French, and we told her that we were learning, and she continued to speak to us in French. She spoke very good English, but she was literally teaching us. Yeah. We got a little schooling while we were buying coffee.
Matter of fact, that happens quite a bit. Yeah, we're about 8 weeks in with our language learning with KLF, which we've learned so much. We've made so much progress. Sometimes it doesn't feel that way.
Yes, it doesn't feel like it.
I think we're getting pretty good at ordering at a restaurant, but quickly people can recognize that we're not native French speakers at all. And if they sense that we're speaking French as English speakers and they know how to speak English, boom, they're going to switch. However, sometimes we just have to say, we're practicing. Can we continue to talk French? Okay.
But that can get us in trouble because we went to this Italian restaurant and we were telling our waiter that we were wanting to practice. And so Jake would talk in French and he would respond back in French, but his speed is so fast. Yeah. We're almost like, maybe we should have just stuck with English.
Yeah. He's like, fine, I'm going to talk as fast as normal.
Not fast. I mean, just normal. He was just talking normal.
He was talking normal. But for us, it sounds fast.
Super fast.
Because in school, when the teachers are talking to us, they're talking slower at a pace that our brains can
babies,
maybe pick out the words and the meanings and put it all together. It's hard when you're learning a new language and somebody speaking at the native speed.
Yeah. But I do love it when they actually say that our accent's really good. Like when we had a Uber take us to the winery when we were in Nice. Jake had a great conversation with the driver and started off talking in French, and he was commenting on how his accent was really good.
I think he was just being nice.
Oh, take the compliment. Take the compliment. It's very uplifting and it boosts our self-confidence, which we really need because French learning.
It's hard. It's hard to learn another language.
It is so hard.
Mm-hmm. We love how the French people dress. For the most part, there's a higher standard of how people hold themselves. In the United States, people will head to the grocery store in their PJs. I mean, really.
I gotta share something really fast. I think we've said that we had a French exchange student live with us for 10 months. And I remember whenever we would go somewhere, she would always go back to her room and get dressed, right? And then we would tell her, you're fine, you're good in your sweats, you're fine. You know, she just got done doing her running, and so she's in her running clothes, and we're like, it's okay, we'll go to the store. Towards the end of her stay, we were like, you look like an American. She's like, I know, I don't care anymore. It's bad. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, I think we may have ruined her a little bit.
We've influenced her badly. But she's back to her ways now. She's dressing like a normal French person. But so when we were in Montpellier, one of the things that we noticed is scarves. They're a thing.
People love to wear their scarves here in France.
Even now it's getting warm. We still see scarves.
It's warm outside, and they're still wearing their scarf.
They're wearing the thin silk scarves, but still, scarves are a thing. And also wool coats. Everybody has them. And I don't understand why it's warm outside. It's literally warm outside, and people still wear jackets.
Here's what I think. I've been to San Diego, California, when it's 62 degrees outside and people are wearing their puffy jackets and Ugg boots.
I guess that's true.
And us being used to the colder weather from Colorado, we think that's kind of silly. But they do think it's cold, and I think maybe the French people might think that 70 degrees or 20 degrees Celsius is cool.
Yeah, but I think
maybe it's fashion.
For people that are wearing Ugg boots in the summertime when it's warm in San Diego, I think is more of a fashion statement. I mean, how often can you wear Ugg boots in San Diego? So therefore, when there's a slight bit of chill, pull it out and rock it, you know?
I guess.
So I don't know if that exactly applies, but I don't know, maybe they're just warm, maybe they're just more warm-blooded. I don't know. When it was raining in Montpellier, we were like, we're not going to go anywhere. It's too cold to eat outside. But the French people, it doesn't matter.
The cafe culture is real. There's tons of patios. They'd get umbrellas. It'd be raining. They're still eating outside. It's cold. They're still eating outside.
Yeah.
A couple reasons. One, I think there's not a ton of seating sometimes inside, especially in the older downtown areas. So a lot of the seating moves out onto the sidewalk. And they can still smoke. They can smoke out on the patio.
But not all the people that are sitting outside are smokers. It's just you're outside and you see the things that are happening. You see the people that are, I mean, part of the culture too is people watching. You know, they like to watch people as they walk by, so.
They like to freeze and watch people.
I don't know, that doesn't seem to bother them, so.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that dogs are so welcome here. As a matter of fact, just the other day, Jake and I decided to go to a department store here, and we had the plan that Jake was just gonna stay outside with the dogs and I was gonna go in and peruse because we didn't think that the dogs would be allowed. Well, so then we decided to just go in.
Yeah, we thought we'd give it a try. I did look at the doors. I looked for signs for no dogs. There wasn't any sign. There was no signs for no dogs. So we brought them in with us. There was a security guard there, and we strolled in the store with them, and it was just so nice. You can go into restaurants with them.
Sometimes. Yeah, they will make it known if they don't want dogs, but
they'll have a sign on the door that'll have a picture of a dog and a line through it.
Yeah, more restaurants or more places allow dogs than they do not. So it's so nice. Another thing that's, I can't say it's nice. It's not nice. Dog poop on the sidewalk and on the streets. It's there.
It's definitely a thing. There are some homeless folks that are around the downtown areas, and I've noticed that every single person who is living on the streets has a dog with them. And I don't know, maybe they're not able to pick up the poop, but every person that I've seen that's walking a dog, if I see their dog poop, I do see them picking them up. I've never once seen somebody walking their dog and leave it. Although
that's nice.
You do have to keep your head on a swivel, be looking for some dog poop along the sidewalk, because you might step in some.
Somebody
if you're not
said
careful.
that it's lucky. I don't think it's lucky.
Yeah, there's no luck.
I think it's kind of gross.
It's actually
but
bad luck.
I think they're doing a better job. Actually, like you said, you've noticed people picking them up, and I have too. That's nice, but they are still very present. Another thing that French is known for is for their food, right? And let me tell you, a lot of their food is really good.
Although there's very little spicy spices.
Yeah, if they say spicy, it's like a hint. Anyway, but not all of French dishes are great. I mean, I guess it's the same as in the United States. There are places that are, wow, really good, and there are some places that are not so good. I was a little disappointed, to be honest, because I guess in my mind, I'm thinking like, you're in France. Even though we were in Paris and I experienced French onion soup in different manners, and some of them were not great at all. I think that should have been a clue. And I think I know that, but I think I wasn't ready to accept that. Not all French dishes are all that great. However, don't let that deter you from trying new things, because I once tried something I never even knew existed. It's called a cuttlefish. Didn't even know what it was.
It's not a fish.
It's not a fish. But it was really yummy, and I really enjoyed it. So you just never know. One of the good things about not being very good with your French speaking is sometimes when you order something, you think you're ordering something, and then something different comes to your plate.
Yeah, that's actually happened quite a few times. We're looking at the menu, we're really brave with reading it in French, and we're not doing the translation with our phones, and we get something, oh, I thought I was ordering something.
Oh, I didn't know I ordered this.
It does lead you down a path to try something new.
Yeah. I mean, totally. You have to be open-minded. A few things that we are not fond of here in France is...
Number one is smoking. Oh my goodness. I feel like we've gone back to the 80s in the United States with the amount of people that smoke. Kind of sucks. It is what it is.
It is part of their culture.
That's their culture. If they're not smoking a cigarette, they're
vaping.
They're vaping. You know, they're always sucking on their vapes.
Sounds funny.
It looks funny. I think they look terrible when they're doing it. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. And of course, people will be talking and they go to blow their vape away from the person they're talking to. And as you're walking by, right into your face or their cigarette smoke and all.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the percentage of people in France that smoke, but it is pretty high.
It's just something that we had to get used to. And that's just so normal here. It's not normal in the United States. So,
not anymore, yeah.
Yeah, we just have to
suck it
up.
Yeah.
Accept it, yeah.
The next thing that drives me crazy are the French toilet seats. What the heck, France? Like, I mean, you can't tighten a toilet seat. Almost not only are they loose sometimes they're just off.
They don't even have it.
Or they could be on the ground next to the toilet.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it's kind of funny.
It's
funny because it's okay. We're accepting it because that's how it is. But
I'm not saying they're in loose toilet seats in the United States, but not to this extent.
Even if you were to go to a high-end restaurant, as a matter of fact, we went to one last night, and he went and used the restroom, and sure enough, the toilet was messed up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Again, another one of those things that we're just like...
Makes me scratch my head. Just tighten the toilet seat.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
Oh, here's another one. I guess these are all my dislikes, huh?
I dislike this one too.
Yeah.
I really do.
As Americans, we're used to coffee the way we like.
Oh, the coffee culture in the United States is so different here.
It's different. Here, and I've realized the farther east you go, the stronger and smaller coffees get. From France into Italy and then into Turkey, they get stronger and stronger and smaller. But the French will sit there and they'll get an espresso shot and sip on their espresso shot for quite a while. And for me, I want a big cup of coffee, and I want a strong coffee. If I order what I would consider an Americano or a café long here in France, it is bigger, but then it's weak. So I can't find a big, strong coffee. The only place I've actually found, they actually have...
I'm kind of embarrassed to say it, but...
I'll say it. It's Starbucks. There are some Starbucks here in France. and I do enjoy the Starbucks coffee. Is it my most favorite coffee from the United States? No.
No.
But it scratches the itch, and I'm able to get myself a big cup of coffee and go get in the car and put it in the cup holder.
It's the little pleasures in life.
I have my grande coffee here, which I really enjoy a big cup of coffee. I guess because I'm an American and I'm used to it. So we go to Starbucks because not many places can you get a good, solid, big cup of coffee. Little cups of coffee, I'm not a tiny cup of coffee kind of guy. Big cup of coffee kind of guy. But I do enjoy sitting at the cafes. I enjoy the cafe culture here in France. I just want, when I go to a cafe, I would love to be able to have a big cup, a nice cup of coffee, nice strong cup of coffee that I can drink and not sip. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents.
I went into Starbucks. I ordered myself a flat white. This is my flat white, and they cannot give it to me any bigger. Well, they probably could have if I understood what they said. So I just said, okay. They only come in small, or in American terms, tall.
Well, it's even smaller than a tall.
No, it's the same size.
Okay.
But my point is,
Yeah, she wanted a grande flat white.
Yeah, in the United States,
no.
you could make it bigger if you wanted extra shots, 2 extra shots. You just tell them with an extra shot, and you get extra shots. Here, they have a specific way of making them, and if you ordered a cappuccino, it will only come with 1 shot of espresso.
I asked for 2 shots in my cappuccino,
and they're confused.
That confused the heck out of them. They were like, "Oh, 2 shots."
It's like what? And it seems like we're weird to them because we want 2 shots.
And of course, we're trying to change their recipe, and I get it. It's, I guess, rude. I don't know.
It's just different.
I wanted more caffeine in my coffee.
Or a bigger cup of coffee.
Manly big cup of coffee. Big cup of coffee. And keep it full.
That's where you come in and you make your own coffee at home, and then you bring it in a big Yeti cup, and then there you go. Last but not least,
Last but not least, bureaucracy.
I'm not illiterate. I'm just having a hard time today.
There's a fair amount of bureaucracy in France. There's a fair can't speak either. There's a fair amount of bureaucracy back in the United States.
That's
Both
funny.
countries have it, no doubt. I think we've been processing our way through the rules here in France, and for the most part, we've made it through everything that we need to make it through. It's not always clear at first glance, the process, and sometimes it might depend on who looks at your paperwork, because rules maybe can change.
Well, we hear a lot of people that have moved from the United States talk about how that word is really difficult here in France. So we kind of had it in our minds that it's gonna be hard. We're gonna have to go through that word for whatever reason. I can't say it today, bureaucracy, and be prepared for it. Yes, there are definitely things that are different. For instance, we talked about obtaining a bank account in the United States.
Phone number.
You can go in as an 18-year-old and then come out with a bank account within 10 minutes, and you can get a new phone. No problem. But here, there are a lot of hoops that you have to go through and requirements that we are not aware of that they would need from us. And so therefore, it's different. I think it is because that we have the expectation that things will be just as easy as we know it, but then it's not. Yeah. So I think that's where that struggle comes in. Yeah. But it does exist in a lot in the United States as well. So it's just different. You just have to be prepared for it.
And I think overall, we've been enjoying our time.
Yes.
We've been checking off the boxes for getting things done. We've been working on learning our language,
yes.
We're learning French, and exploring new places. There's so much more exploring to do.
So much more.
There's so much more to see.
There doesn't seem to be
enough
enough time.
There's so much more food to eat.
Oh,
There's
a lot. There's just a lot. Also, I wanted to say, we have a lot of videos that we have taken from when we would visit different cities like Nîmes and Sète and Montpellier, of course. So what I would like to do is assemble a video highlighting the places that we visit and share them with you a different time, so that way it could be more focused on those places that we visit, because there's so much beauty to be shared from our eyes anyway. So looking forward to sharing that with you guys.
Yeah, if you've made it this far in the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you subscribe, please give us a like. We'd love it. Thank you.
That would really, really help our channel.
Yes.
So we really appreciate that.
Thanks so much for spending time with us.
Yeah, I hope you guys are getting some information from what we have shared. I mean, there's plenty more to experience, and we're really enjoying our time here. We're enjoying sharing them with you, and we're looking forward to seeing you in the next video.
Until next time.
Au revoir.
Bye.